Hi, it's Wednesday, the 6th of November. And hello and welcome to the New World Order. So, going back thousands of years when history shows that there has been major national movements of this type, then astrology has to play its part and explain what was at the heart of it. And in fact, astrologers were always present in the courts of kings and whoever the rulers in the elite were to actually take part using astrology. So I suppose we'll have to have a look at today's chart. So I'm just going to share, and then actually, before I share, I have an appeal. If I am to make sense of the chart, for America and its change of its world change, its change of direction, its change of leadership. Let's say that. Then I would like to know something which the information for which I cannot find over here. I want to know the moment that Donald Trump got over the line, over the 270 seats that he needed. So, in order to do that, I want to know the time when the state declared and pushed over the 270 so that he was assured of the presidency because he'd got enough. So, if somebody can find that time out for me and send it to me, then I can cast a chart for that. In the meantime, I'll be talking sort of generally. Okay, thank you. So let's do a share. Okay, right. Now, the most interesting thing, if we're going to talk about the change of world order, and believe me, it's well, you don't need to believe me. We are looking at a change of world order. Okay, so what comes straight away, as far as I'm concerned, is the Mars-Pluto opposition. So that's a powerful opposition. It's got to be involved. Okay. This is, or the recent hit that we had when they went exactly opposite each other, which happened recently, was the first of three hits. Mars is going to go retrograde and then go forward again. And so consequently, it will meet Pluto another twice. And that will be on the 2nd of January 24, and that will be at 01 degrees, not of Cancer Capricorn, but it will be of with Leo and Aquarius. So there is a sign change. And then on the 26th of the 4th, so the 26th of April next year, they meet for the third and last time at 3 degrees of Leo for Mars and 3 degrees of Aquarius for Pluto. So in order to determine what is underneath astrologically, what is underneath the events that are around this opposition, then this is why I need this information today to find out. Because what we have to do is cast a chart for the exact moment he won. Okay, you can cast another one for when he gets inaugurated. You can cast another one but in my mind, it's the moment it went over the 270. So, so we've got that to look at, and yeah, I need more in-depth information on that before I can start to read it properly. Interesting. The moon is in Capricorn. This is not the type of sign which talks about ecstatic, jubilant, celebrations. However, if we take the moon as to mean the people, then we are looking at a time that is somber, really, and a time of reality for people. So that's that's probably the best I can say again without having the right chart. One thing that is popping up for me is how near the moon is to Quora. And Quora is a dwarf planet whose name is derived from the mythology around California. And so I absolutely want to bring that into a discussion regarding the election win for Donald Trump today. Okay. The other thing that is puzzling at the moment, but once I get to grips with the right chart, then it'll sort of shine out for me, I guess, is Jupiter is opposite Athena. That's talking as well. So I'll need to bring that in. I think what this is saying is that the news, some type of news has played an important part in it. One thing I could say now, and hopefully I won't be changing my mind on this when I get the real chart, but one thing I could say now is that because of the seesaw up and down effect that we have been undergoing recently, because we had the dark new moon in Scorpio, and then we had a burst of activity in Sagittarius over the weekend after that. And so consequently, we've had a kind of a roller coaster thing. What I get from that at the moment is that a lot of these voters, and honestly, believe me, I have no idea about American politics, and I haven't been following this avidly, so this is just me talking in the UK. It looks from my perspective here as if a lot of these people didn't make their mind up until the final week. That's what it looks like to me, that that public opinion was going like this, right to the wire, really. And so if that's any use, there we go. Right. So what about looking at things for us personally, as we're here looking at astrology? Okay, so coming away from the election then. So we've got the moon, as I talked to you, is at 13 degrees of Capricorn, and the sun is at 14 degrees of Scorpio. Okay, so these two are sextile. This means that the moon and the sun are in harmony with each other. One is facilitating the other. These are both in feminine signs. So this is talking about movement, but it's internal movement. Now, it can be the internal mechanisms of anything, the internal mechanisms of the planet, the internal mechanisms of the United States, the internal mechanisms of me, you. This is the atmosphere around our planet, the one which we live on. And so it's talking about how we're in feminine energy, and therefore things are muted. There is time for consideration, for chewing over something, for philosophizing, for reflecting. This is a reflecting time. Apart from that, the Jupiter Athena opposition is live at the moment. This is about learning, it's about news, it's about communication, because we're talking Gemini. Jupiter is in the opposite sign to the sign it rules, so it sort of brings in these together in terms of advice. I guess this is the world's news stations are all broadcasting the news about the election in states, and therefore there are probably lots of spokespeople pontificating and giving their advice, their ideas, their thoughts, their wisdom on these matters. I can only imagine that these two are really kind of like reflecting that. That's my guess. We have a very wide Saturn Jupiter going on at the moment. If I just go to this grid over here, so they're 7 degrees apart and applying, so they're coming together and they're 7 degrees separate at the moment. This means that we are reflecting on a rebalance. So because, I'm putting it in a nutshell, Jupiter is how we cope with expansion, and Saturn is how we cope with restriction, just putting it very simply. Then when these two get into a relationship with each other, it's normally about a rebalancing of expansion and restriction. So, well, you can work it out from there, I think, really. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave it like that for now. We've just had a firework night here in the United Kingdom when we celebrate. I don't know why we celebrate it, but we celebrate the blowing up of the Houses of Parliament, or why? But, I don't think he actually blew them up. I think it was just a plot, a gunpowder plot. And we celebrate it with fireworks. Well, it's a big thing. The kids all love it. And so it's that's where we've been. But the problem is that it's very, very noisy. Every house has fireworks, every city, every village. And it's dreadful for animals. My dogs in particular are both shaking under the table most nights, because we don't just stick to one night. Oh no, we do it the Saturday before, the Sunday before, and then it was official last night. And there'll be people who want to light fireworks next weekend, so we kind of get a week of it. So yes, it's been a bit, yes, a bit tense in this household, as the whole clan's been round me, all cats and dogs, and shaking. Anyway, so of course this is nothing compared to what is happening in America, where we are now in a new world order, which I can't wait to get to grips with. So if anybody can help me out with that time, that would be fabulous. Right. Sorry, I said all that when I hadn't stopped sharing. So hello, hi. So yeah, and great. Let's talk tomorrow. If we can get with that time, then I'll work on it and do you a whole session on it, and hopefully that'll help cast light over the whole thing. It may not be what you want, but at least understand why and how. I mean, that's the best thing we can get out of astrology, isn't it? Okay, thank you. So I'm now going to pick the whatsits. Stop recording. That'll be me. Stop recording. Thank you. See ya. Bye.